You could erase your painful memories. Not forget them, but completely remove them, as if they never happened. This is the story of Alex, a man made of simple lines, but burdened by a heavy heart. Every shadow was a reminder of a mistake, every quiet moment a replay of a regret. One day, while walking through a forgotten antique shop, he found a small, unassuming eraser. It felt warm to the touch. On a whim, he thought of a clumsy moment from his childhood, tripping on stage during a school play. He rubbed the eraser in his palm, and a strange calm washed over him. The memory was gone. Not fuzzy, but blank. A void where embarrassment used to be. He felt lighter, freer. And so it began. The argument that cost him a friendship? Erased. The business idea that failed spectacularly? Gone. Each erasure was a weight lifted. His world became pristine, smooth, and painless. But it also became quiet. He'd meet the old friend he'd erased the fight with, but there was a gap in their conversation he couldn't explain. He felt like a stranger in his own life, reading a story with missing pages. The relief he craved was slowly being replaced by a hollow echo. One afternoon, he visited his mother. She was looking at an old photograph, her eyes misty. "I was just thinking about your father," she said, her voice soft. "Remember how he'd burn the toast every Sunday? It drove me mad, but oh, how I miss the smell of burnt toast now." Alex felt a familiar pang of grief, the memory of his father's final days, sharp and painful. He instinctively reached for the eraser in his pocket. But then he saw his mother's smile, a fragile thing woven from love and loss. She looked at him and said, "The ache, it's just the shape of the love that's left behind, isn't it?" Her words struck him like lightning. He realized the horrible truth. In erasing the fight with his friend, he'd also erased the memory of their tearful reconciliation, the moment their bond became unbreakable. In erasing his business failure, he'd erased the hard-won lesson of humility that made him a better person. He hadn't been erasing pain. He had been erasing the parts of himself that had grown around that pain. He was erasing his own strength. From that day on, the eraser stayed in his pocket, untouched. He called his friend, and for the first time, he talked about their old fight, not to erase it, but to honor the journey it took them on. He looked at his failures, not as stains, but as sketches, the rough drafts of the man he was becoming. He let the memories, both good and bad, wash over him, and in that acceptance, he found a peace that erasing could never offer. He was no longer a perfect empty page, but a rich, textured story. His life wasn't painless, but it was whole. The shadows were still there, but now he understood they were cast by a brilliant light. Our scars are not signs of damage, but proof that we have healed. So it leaves you with a question. If you could erase your pain, would you risk erasing the person you became because of it?